Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Awesome 80s podcast. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence. Hello, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
I'm delightful. I got to do all this stuff that MF Jones is making me do, so I just badmouthed him on recording because fuck him.
Can you see the top of Lady Baby's head? That's the top of her head.
I think we should clarify that Lady Baby can't hear me.
Oh, no, she can't.
So if I say horrible things, it's okay. But if you say horrible things, you're a bad father.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show. You're like, yeah, like in 3 or 4 years, she's going to be like, Dad goes downstairs and said bad words on the internet.
All the time. He just yells them into a microphone.
Yeah.
We normally do shout outs and stuff. But I think the biggest shout out we need to do tonight is to MH, because although he's always awesome and lets us use this studio, tonight his favorite basketball team on the face of the planet is playing their arch rival, and he's watching it muted for us. And I can't thank him enough. Thank you, MH.
Is it I-State? Is that his favorite team?
Not I-State.
No, I don't know. Who's
IU.
IU. Okay, I apologize.
He went to I-State.
Okay, the Sycamores.
IU is playing UI.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's like a religion in that Indiana, I guess.
So if you randomly hear random curse words yelling, I'll try to ask him to keep the slurs to a minimum.
A lot of he says cocksucker a lot.
Well, that's if we're lucky.
I'll just quote Hoosiers.
Okay, that works for us.
How many passes? Is it like 6 passes?
4.
4 passes, yeah.
4 passes. So how are you today?
Pretty good. Just having adventures with me and the baby. We picked up the organic eggs. We went to the fancy pizza place. The guy behind the counter.
The Little Caesars?
No. No, it's called baked. It's a little fancier.
Because they bake it and you get stoned when you eat it.
I'm like,
Andra.
So they've got it's organic food that they use inside their pizza. But the guy behind the counter had a Cardinals shirt on. He had an Ozzie Smith shirt on. I'm like, I don't even know if I should be here. Can you cancel my order?
Did you punch him in the face and run?
No, it was okay.
I would have punched him in the face and ran.
But the food was delicious.
And
it's nice to go, like, especially going from shitty pizza to good pizza, from good pizza to shitty pizza. You can definitely tell the difference.
Okay. That's fair, I suppose. We're on a show. People are watching us. So this week is our Oscar edition for 1, 2, 3. We'll say like 5 years. Every year I say, we should do Rain Man. And then every year you're like, no.
I need you, like, I've had you watch questionable movies, Glenn, where I try to convince you that what you just watched was a good movie. And I need you to do that for me, Glenn.
You're going to shit on Rain Man?
It is cinematically, it is beautiful. The story itself is a beautiful story, but like I do not enjoy watching Rain Man at all.
Come on.
I don't even know if he's reacting to the basketball game or the stupidness you just said. Where's that woman who takes care of Lady Baby?
You mean my wife? Yeah, the woman that takes care of the baby.
Oh, you guys have pet names. That's so sweet. Wife.
Just feels like,
you want to tell me right now, like, your problem with this movie?
Well, it just feels like Tom Cruise is an asshole.
It's the only movie he's an asshole in, really.
Yeah, of course he's an asshole. That's like the movie. That's part of the movie.
Yeah, but he never. To me, there's never, like, even when he does redeem himself at the end, he never really truly redeems himself. Like,
what the hell are you saying?
Hold on, baby. Did you say something? The baby, she took the headphones.
I said, what the hell are you saying?
I'm saying that it's not earned. I'm telling you that the transition, Tom Cruise's transition is not earned. And it's just so hard because you can see, like, obviously, I mean, we're like super sensitive right now because everyone's politically correct, which is nice to swing the pendulum that way. But it's just so hard to see him like yelling at somebody with a disability. Okay, go.
So, in 1988, did you know what autism was?
Squeezed and pulled and hurt my neck, 1988. I guess this was something that nobody really knew about. Like
No one
it was
knew
like-
about.
Yeah, it was like a deep dark secret. Like if somebody had this in their family, they would send them to a home like Raymond.
But it's because they didn't know what it was. This movie brought autism, a very serious, real thing, to the forefront. This was the first time people heard of autism. There was not an autism month. You
couldn't
need to
get
control of your baby.
She was like, I could talk in that microphone. Give me the microphone. I could talk into it.
Why don't you throw trash on the floor and let her crawl around like when I was there?
She really does like the recyclables, like the milk jug. She like she's got a handle. She could turn it into an instrument. She loves it. But I mean, we don't live. I mean, right now we live in a world where there's like everything is like the puzzle piece theme stuff for autism. Like there's checks, there's bumper stickers.
There's a month. It has a month.
There's an entire month. But I mean, it just maybe I'm too big of a pussy. It just feels like Tom Cruise. Stop! Don't eat that. It just feels like Tom Cruise is such an asshole, and he's oh baby.
I don't know who'd be more mad at, you or your baby right now.
Okay. It's okay, baby.
Where is your wife?
Hopefully she's driving here. You're an internet superstar, baby. Say, hey, I'm on the internet. Hi, I'm on the internet. Don't touch the keyboard. I'll give you the other keyboard to touch.
This is not 3 Men and a Baby, the podcast.
Do you want to be on 3 Men and a Little Lady? Do you want to be on that podcast, baby?
I don't want to go back to that.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start. We're going to talk about.
So start at the beginning.
We're going to start at the beginning.
Got Lambos. Are they Lambos or Ferraris? They're Lambos, right?
Lambos. My grandpa and your grandpa sitting by the fire. My grandpa says your grandpa. So, hey now, hey now, hey now. Come on, everyone loves that song.
I thought she oh baby.
So we see these Lambos. They're getting like loaded off of a ship.
Yeah.
We go into like this warehouse. We got Tom Cruise, his hot foreign girlfriend, some guy named Lenny. Tom Cruise it's a high pressure situation. You can tell right away he needs some money. He's trying to deal these Lambos, trying to make a $70,000 profit. But the EPA's jacking him up, man. All of his money's tied up in these Lambos. Everyone wants Charlie Babbitt. Everyone's looking for a piece of him. But thankfully, the only one person who's getting a piece of him is his hot foreign girlfriend, Susanna.
She's familiar. She was in Hot Shots Part 1 and 2, I think. Oh, baby, hold on.
Lady baby, be a professional. I'm trying to discuss Rain Man. So, yeah, she was in Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2.
And we were to assume that she married Pee Wee Herman at the end of Big Top Pee Wee as well.
Are we, though? Are we to assume that? I guess we'll find out. Guess we'll find out in 2 weeks. So, Susanna, you can tell Charlie Babbitt, he's wound very tight. He's got a money situation. He's doing everything that he can. Susanna, she just wants time with him. She doesn't want anything spectacular. She just wants the weekend with just Charlie and his thoughts and his attention. So as they're driving to Palm Springs, he gets a call on the car phone. Turns out that Charlie Babbitt's father died. Funeral is tomorrow in Cincinnati, Ohio.
The problem is that his dad's an asshole.
Hates his dad.
Or to assume his dad's an asshole. Or maybe his dad's a decent human being and his son's an asshole.
Well, no, I think that we learned that his dad was an asshole, which made Charlie an asshole.
Okay, it's assholes creating assholes. Keep firing, assholes.
Right. Like, if you're an asshole to your baby right now.
She's playing with the spindle of CDs. She should be okay.
All right. Hopefully it's not a Gin Blossom CD.
Okay.
So Charlie, he tells the girlfriend, is she French? What is she? What is Susanna?
I think in real life she's French.
Okay.
She's from the Popolo Piccolo brothers. The sister from the Popolo Piccolo brothers.
Okay.
I guess that's Italian, right?
Yeah. Whatever.
For being a weird foreign girl, she's pretty hot.
Why is she weird?
She's got lots of curly hair. I don't
I
know.
like her curly hair.
80s oriented hair. She's very, very hot for being from the 80s. I mean, she still holds up, is what I'm saying. Her style still holds up.
Okay. So Susanna, she wants to know more about Charlie. They've been together a year. She's never even really heard him talk about his father. So we find out Charlie's mom died when he was very young. And him and his dad kind of had a hands-off relationship. His dad just was he was a businessman, and he just loved his roses and his car, his Buick Roadster. When Charlie finally had a good report card, so his father let him, he wanted to drive his father's 1949 Buick Roadmaster convertible.
Roadmaster, yeah. Hold on.
His father would not allow him to do so, so he stole it. His father called it in stolen, had him arrested. All of his friends got bailed out right away. He spent 2 days in jail. That's the kind of dad he had. If I would have stolen my father's car, I would have spent days in jail. When I was 7, I earned $20 helping my grandpa around the house, and then my dad played me in blackjack and taught me blackjack, and then took my $20 within 10 minutes, and that's how I learned not to gamble. These are the lessons you learn. So Charlie's father was a tough love guy. You steal my car, you go to jail, just like just common street thug. So we find out pretty much Charlie Babbitt has daddy issues. He also talks about how when he was scared when he was little, his dad wouldn't help him out. He had this.
He's been dead a long time. Like he's like, it didn't face him at all that his dad was dead.
Well, as I was saying, when he was a little kid, and he was scared of like the storms, his dad would never help him out. He had this imaginary friend, Raymond, and Raymond would sing to him. And what happened to Raymond? He grew up, so he didn't have Raymond anymore. So yeah, he really couldn't care his dad was dead, but he knew his dad had a lot of money. So of course he's going to catch that next flight with his hot foreign girlfriend to Cincinnati, and he's going to go get that will. So next we're at the funeral. He kind of stands back, makes Susanna sit in the car by herself, and
Which is a class act, by the way, to have your girlfriend sit there. Yeah.
He's an asshole. You don't have to justify it.
Right.
No one is arguing with you that Charlie Babbitt is an asshole.
Okay.
No one's arguing.
Okay.
He then goes to the will reading.
And he's the only one there.
Right. What does he find out at the will reading?
That his father really wants him to have his roses because he loves his roses. And that the $3.2 million is in a trust for somebody somewhere.
So it's in a secret trust, but he also he gets his dad's car that he was never able to drive, which is kind of a fuck you from his dad. And in his dad's funeral note, you can tell his dad was an asshole too, because he basically picks everything that he hated about his son and exposes it. Now, getting the last word, basically. So yeah, is Charlie Babbitt an asshole? Absolutely. But is his dad an asshole? Was he raised to be an asshole? I think so. So Charlie Babbitt, he's a smart guy. He's also in need of money. He's kind of a con artist, you have the feeling. So he goes to the bank.
You would say a confidence man.
A confidence man. He talks sweet to the banker lady. He finds out that the money, the secret person is a doctor at Walbrook. It's a home for the mentally disabled. And the doctor is the trustee of the fund. So Charlie's trying to figure out why this doctor gets the money. And the doctor's he's stonewalling him. He won't tell him. So he goes out to his car, and there we see his girlfriend, Susanna, with Dustin Hoffman sitting in the car. Dustin knows all about this car.
He knew the odometer. He knew everything about this car. He loves this car. He used to drive it in the driveway.
So at first, Charlie Babbitt, he's trying to kick this guy out of the car, but he realizes this guy knows a lot about the car. So he starts asking him questions, and we find out that Sanford Babbitt is also his father. Also, the People's Court starts in 15 minutes.
I was going to say, I'm like, I felt like there were a lot of similarities between Raymond and both you and myself. Because I was like, because in his room, there's baseball stuff literally everywhere. He covered every inch of his walls with baseball stuff, and he knew all these stats. But he knows exactly, like just like Glenn, he can't miss Judge Wapner.
Well, it's now Judge Mara Mulan, and I DVR for the last, oh shit, how have I had DVR? 12 years. I DVR the People's Court every day.
So after Judge Wapner, who was the judge after that?
Ed Koch.
The mayor of the mayor of New York.
Nope. Nope. Well, okay. The second and third judge, I could be wrong. It was Judge Judy's husband and Ed Koch. I could interchange them. I don't remember who was first or second, but I didn't watch during those years.
That's when they sold out.
Well, then they were on USA Network. And they would do like a live People's Court Cafe every day.
When did Doug Llewellyn stop? Is he still doing it?
No, Doug stopped with Wapner.
Okay.
However, Harvey Levin, who used to just be their political consultant, went on to own the 30 Mile Zone website, TMZ. But yet he still hosts the show every day. So Harvey Levin started on the People's Court and
moved on to TMZ because he's a lawyer.
Still hosts People's Court every single day.
Well, thank God somebody is there to keep track of the People's Court. So Whopper starts at 15. He's a super nice guy. Loves visiting.
So real quick, real-time feedback. Tom S. on our Twitter says, thanks, MH. You're the bomb. Tom S.
Hey, Tom.
He also says, Mr. Michael, you're his hero. He's an excellent driver, and I'm okay. So,
okay, good.
Time feedback. Really inspiring. Why don't you bowl more than a 130? So, Charlie finds out that Raymond is his brother. And he also finds out that Raymond, he goes and talks to the doctor now, and Raymond's high-functioning autistic, which he's never heard of. Like I said in the beginning of the show, most of us have not heard of this at this time. And when he gets nervous, he starts singing reciting Who's on First. But you're right. Charlie is a complete dick to Ray. Why do you think he's a dick to Ray?
Because he's pissed off at his father.
Yeah.
And maybe partially because he doesn't believe it's true to a certain extent. I mean, I'm sure today we'd get a genetic test right away just to double, I don't know. Like if that movie came out today.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You have a brother named Eric. He's been on the show.
Okay.
You're in your 30s, and you find out that Eric exists, and that your dad, who's no longer with us, even though he still is, thank God. Thank God Jim's still with us, has hid him from you your whole life. You're not going to be a little hurt? You're not going to be a little upset?
Yeah, but I mean, would you take it out on your brother? I mean, does that make sense?
But he doesn't understand his brother. He doesn't understand why his brother can't communicate with him. He's an asshole. Once again, I'm not denying this.
Okay.
You know those hugs that your mom gives you every time you see her? Charlie Babbitt never had hugs.
Yeah.
So, Ray knows the baseball schedule. He really likes Susanna. Charlie decides he's going to do the only thing he can because he still wants his $3 million. So he steals Ray. They do that famous walk down the past all those trees. It's on the poster. I think
every Oscar montage shows them walking down between those trees.
Yeah. So he takes him to a hotel. Ray doesn't like the hotel. One thing we find out, and this movie teaches you a lot about what it's like to be autistic. I mean, from just a layman's point of view. It's very schedule oriented, we find out. And that, Raymond has a very set schedule. And if something's off or if something's not the same as normal, it upsets him. Like his room is not the same, which upsets him. Charlie also lies to his girlfriend. Not great, about kidnapping Ray. Says that it was the doctor's idea. So not good there. And we do find out basically Charlie only loves himself at this point.
Huh.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ray's laying in his bed. It's not lights out yet. Not lights out till 11. And he hears some noises. This is you gotta respect this scene at least.
The lovemaking scene.
Yeah. So he mimics the noises he hears. He follows the noises.
It was pretty funny.
He goes and he sits on the bed of their bed while they're making love. Turns on some TV, still making the noises. I don't know. I think that scene's great. You know, they're loving each other.
Well,
They're
it shows
having some
people
love.
like this one's nice. I mean, how a better way to show your love for somebody than make love to them? But it keeps it lighthearted is to show him just being so clueless to the way, you know, how Raymond doesn't understand this portion of life.
So this movie is very rare in essence that it was filmed in order because they actually did do a road trip. So this movie, beginning to end, was filmed the way it was played out. You're a filmmaker. Is that something common?
No, not at all. I was thinking, I mean, like maybe this and Platoon. I mean, a notable ones from like the 80s where they shot in order.
So we know that from past guests like Keith Coogan will be on next week. We know that a lot of the stuff you read on the internet about movies is bullshit. But there's a lot of stuff collaborating.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, thank you. A lot of the stuff out there about this movie, there's a lot of stuff that says things are true. So one common thing is that Dustin Hoffman was actually cast to play Charlie. And it was his idea to switch over to Raymond. And he did a lot of research. He spent a lot of time in homes such as Mellowbrook, trying to just learn how it is to be someone like Raymond, how it is to be afflicted with autism. And 3 weeks into the movie, he wanted to quit. Did you come across that at all?
Because he's method and he goes deep into it. And you kind of almost take him for granted, like how great Dustin Hoffman once was or how he is in this performance. You're just like, he is amazing in this and he is an amazing actor.
He thought it was the worst performance he had ever given. So he wanted to quit. Him and Tom Cruise jokingly called this movie on set Two Schmucks in a Car.
Okay.
Because they just didn't see the appeal of it. Tom Cruise and was constantly, and Dustin Hoffman were constantly rehearsing on set, like in trailers during downtime. Like I think they really wanted to nail this movie. At one point, Spielberg was supposed to direct it, but it kept getting pushed back. And at that point, George Lucas needed him for the upcoming Indiana Jones movie. It was coming out in 1989. So he bowed out, but he gave all of his notes, all of it that he had taken to Barry Levinson, who ultimately directed the movie. So he passed along everything he would do. And he took out some scenes that were in the movie. There's supposed to be a scene in the road trip, which we'll get up to, where like thugs accosted Raymond. I'm glad they took that out. It was very, that's just kind of average for an 80s movie, like Charlie Saves the Day. I'm glad that was not there. Because I think this is an emotional journey. And we'll continue with it. So Susanna basically figures out that Charlie is a liar. He has nothing, no good intentions for Raymond. And she leaves him because he only loves himself. He's an asshole. He is, in fact, an asshole. No one's disputing this.
Yeah. I guess to me, though, like, as far as being emotionally drawn in, like, you can either be emotionally drawn into the mentally handicapped person, or you can be drawn into the asshole. And I wasn't drawn into either characters.
Why not? I'm asking you.
Okay, because you couldn't really see yourself in either role. Like, I guess I'm in a situation like, Just bring it like Citizen Kane. Everyone says the greatest movie of all time, but you're just not brought into the character at all. Like I need to be in a movie where I at least see myself in one of the characters. And I don't see myself in any of the characters, even though I like Spaceball, and any of the characters in this movie. It doesn't mean it's not a good movie. I just don't like it.
So you can't enjoy a movie because Dustin Hoffman's performance in this movie is an all-timer.
It's considered. It's amazing.
You can't just respect how amazing a performance it is and enjoy that.
If somebody asked you what my favorite movie is, what would you say?
One of the three.
Or what else? You bought me a poster. I put it on my wall. I'm glad it was an emotional connection between you and I. It's a long. It was a good run while we had it. You bought me a Goonies poster, Glenn.
I was gonna say it, but you wouldn't let me. Okay, but there are two different types of movies. Goonies is a movie that captures you as a child.
Yeah, but I mean the
childlike sensibilities.
You could see yourself in the character, like
right, because it's a children's movie.
But I mean, even in like say The Natural, another Barry Levinson film, you're like, I wish I was Roy Hobbs. I wish I was this guy. In my best day, I could be an eighth of this. Oh, geez, I'm shredding myself. And the eighth. Oh God, I could be an eighth of this guy, and you just couldn't. It just doesn't make any. I mean, to me, you want to find a character that you could be, and I couldn't find a character in this movie that I wanted.
What about the psychiatrist? What about the French girl?
Out of the main characters, none of them. I didn't have fun on their adventure. But it's still a good movie.
For me, if I can sit back and I can respect acting performance. Dustin Hoffman's performance is an all-timer in this movie. It's on the Mount Rushmore of acting performances.
He said it's one of his worst, Glenn, so I don't know.
3 weeks into it, actors are insane.
They're crazy people.
Let's continue.
All right.
So he admits that he only kidnapped Ray to get revenge on his father, let alone the $3 million he didn't mention. She leaves him. At this point, Charlie Babbitt calls Dustin Hoffman, calls Raymond an effing R. I'd rather say fucking than the R word, but he calls him that.
A Republican.
Well,
that should be a thing we invent, Glenn.
Okay.
Instead of saying the R word, say Republican.
Well, hey, people listen to the show. They have different. We're in a hotbed of political climate right now. Your political views have no place.
It's not a political podcast. I apologize.
So, he also grabs him, which immediately, you've been saying it all along. Say your line.
Squeeze and pulled and hurt my neck, 1988.
Yeah, but that you've been saying it in character now. You
yeah. Squeeze and pull and hurt my neck, 1988.
This movie also, and I'm 100% guilty of this, made everyone want to talk like Raymond. Not make him, but just naturally. Yeah, Kmart. Yeah, definitely got Kmart. Yeah, like,
it was almost like Borat of the early 90s, late 80s. Like everyone.
My wife.
Yeah, like everyone would talk like Raymond. Like Kmart sucks. Like that was just like a thing everyone did.
So why did Charlie Babbitt at this point, except for the fact it would ruin the film, not realize that he has a Charlie Babbitt injured me list? Like he wrote it, the way it sounded is he wrote it on a page of every time Charlie Babbitt has injured him.
Yeah.
Because at this point,
brother, I love him, but here's a list of every time I got hurt by my brother.
Right. At this point, Charlie doesn't realize that he knows him. Like he's met him before as a child. So Charlie gets a hold of the doctor. He's holding him ransom for $1.5 million, just half of what he believes he's owed. But he's not actually kidnapping him because he is his brother. And the hospital does not have legal guardianship over him. So there's no kidnapping involved. Next, we're at a diner. You gotta have syrup when you're on the table. We both worked at a restaurant that rhymes with Charlie Babbitt's coworker, Lenny. And we had syrup on the table, and then people would put shit inside it. So I don't think restaurants should have syrup on the table, especially if you're going to serve drunk people at 5 a.m. But Raymond wants to fly. I'm sorry. Charlie wants to fly to L.A. so we can get this thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I buried the lead. So at the end, toothpicks drop on the ground, and that's when we realized real quick, for the first time, that Raymond has this crazy intelligence. I mean, we actually realized it earlier when he was talking, like, reciting baseball schedules, but I think it's the first time Charlie paid enough attention to Raymond to realize, like, his crazy intelligence. Like, he just kind of brushed it off and not paid much attention.
While rewatching this, like, I find myself thinking that I think human brains are capable of memorizing everything. It's just maybe a high-functioning autistic has the ability to connect all those dots immediately, like when stuff like that happens.
Let me ask you this. What's your favorite sport?
I like baseball. I'd say.
Like baseball? What does Raymond do?
He loves the Cincinnati Reds.
And he memorizes every team's baseball schedule starting pitch. You can't relate to that?
Yeah, but then you put yourself in a situation where you're living with a character who's okay being around a physically and emotionally abusive brother, and he's ill-equipped to get himself out of that situation. So why would you want to go on this ride with them?
So in 1997, when I met this guy, well, I met him in 96, but we started hanging out. And in 97 and 98, when he's coming to me every day and being like,
we met in 1995, but go ahead.
We were juniors?
No, it would have been sophomore year.
Well, I didn't know. You knew who I was. I didn't know who you
knew. You knew who I was because I was on those twins. I was on their baseball team.
Oh, all right. Anyway, when you came to me in 97, 98, and you're like, I think my brother's going to kill me. I would have turned my back on you because I didn't see myself in you. This all here wouldn't be happening.
This would not be happening.
Every night, I think my brother's trying to kill me.
Well, I mean, there's joy when I watch Real Genius. It is so much fun.
All I'm doing is you're giving me something, and I'm trying to make you understand why you're wrong.
All right. We're making the effort. Thank you.
Now, to your credit, I shit on tons of movies that you make me watch.
Okay.
And you never, for the most part, try to convince me that they're good. But in this case, you're just fucking wrong.
According to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, I'm wrong.
Yes. So, Raymond gives a lot of reasons why he doesn't want to fly, and they go through different airlines. And he basically recites all the crashes.
Yeah, I thought the Australian airline fun fact was pretty odd. Like Qantas, they like play that like on their video as you're sitting down in a flight.
So, and here's the thing. Statistically, Qantas has never had a jet crash. They have had single propeller planes crash 14 times as of 2012. But statistically, they never had a jet crash. And that's technically what they were talking about. So all other airlines edited that scene out of the film if you watched it on the plane, except for Qantas, who, yes, as you said, they use that like as a promotional thing. Like, hey, Rain Man says we've never crashed. We had never crashed. And as of 2012, they haven't. Not a jet, just single propeller plane. So good for Qantas. If you're going to fly from Melbourne to LA, that's the way to do it. So they end up driving. We come upon an accident scene. Ray gets out. He kind of freaks out. So basically now they have to take the back roads. So not only is it going to be a 4-day trip, now it's going to be like a 5-day trip. But you also get to see some of America. Doesn't that sound great? First day they get back to a hotel. They're still basically in the greater Cincinnati area after a day and a half, 2 days, and it's raining. And Raymond will not go out in the rain. He's also not happy.
It's more dangerous to drive in the rain, Glenn.
What?
It's more dangerous to drive in the rain.
It's true. It is. Raymond's also not happy with the underwear that Charlie picked out for him.
And of course, we know from Risky Business, we know that Tom Cruise wears whitey tighties.
Right.
So.
And Raymond wants boxers from Kmart. Kmart sucks. At this point, Charlie he feels that like someone needs to see Raymond, a doctor. So he goes to this small town Main Street doctor. The nurse has never heard artistic. I've never heard of artistic. One of the cool things about this scene is that they're sitting in a waiting room in the middle of nowhere, USA. And there's this older gentleman talking about the Pony Express. And what had happened was they were, as we said, they were really filming this road trip, and they had these spots they were going. And they were in a real doctor's office. I didn't write down where, but somewhere in middle America. And in the waiting room, there was this real life older gentleman discussing the Pony Express. And Barry Levinson thought that was so awesome that he actually had the guy ad-lib and just in the movie just talk about the Pony Express. He wrote his own line. There was no lines. He just was talking about the Pony Express. That's the type of movie this is. Just real people, man. Real people. Why do you hate America, Michael?
The director of this film, Barry Levinson, he also did Good Morning Vietnam and Diner, which I think are both great films.
Well,
and
he was supposed to do this before Good Morning Vietnam. They were taking their time casting it, so he dropped out of the movie. And then when Spielberg dropped out because of Indiana Jones, he came back on board because he had just finished Good Morning Vietnam.
Does this, Glenn, take a step back. Does this
Yes.
not seem like the pretentious Oscar bait Steven Spielberg movie that we've come to expect?
Well, this would have been the original.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so, though. Not at the time.
All right.
At the time, even the two actors thought this movie was not going to go anywhere. Not because it was a good movie, just because they didn't see the appeal until they watched it. Like, they didn't realize what a good job they were doing.
I mean, Tom Cruise plays a great a-hole, and Dustin Hoffman. This is the one that he'll be known for, I think.
Or Tootsie.
Or to Edward Kimberly.
I'm Edward Kimberly. Edward Kimberly. Tootsie in my top 5 all-time movies. Does not mean it's not good. So the small town doctor actually breaks it down for Charlie. He explains to him, I think, on a level that Charlie can understand. Like it's not the high level of what it is. And I think they really had this guy do a good job. This actor, the script was great because he explains to him, he's like, listen, he just doesn't feel the emotion you and I feel. But does he have something he's really good at? And it's counting. So he throws like these crazy mathematical problems at him, and Raymond like nails him right away. But then he just asks,
how much is a Snickers bar, Glenn?
$100.
Exactly.
But yeah, he doesn't grasp money. He doesn't grasp concepts, but he grasps problems. So it's just that's just how his mind works. It's just different than you and I.
Well, earlier, when they're in the hotel room, he drops his notebook. He's always noodling in his notebook, and you're to assume that he's just like taking notes of Judge Wapner or Family Feud or whatever. And it drops down. It's like these little like geometrical shapes.
So who's to say that I'm normal and he's not? Maybe he's the normal one. Maybe that's who I should be relating to.
Maybe.
We're the weird ones. We're the ones who don't get it. He gets it.
Are we even doing a podcast right now?
No. Oh, I stopped recording 20 minutes ago. Okay. This is a one-on-one between me and you. I don't want the world seeing this, what's happening right here. This is me trying to explain to you that we're not normal and that Raymond is. Let's continue. We got to do another episode tomorrow, though, because this one's not, like I said, we're not recording this.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
So he goes to a small town doctor, and the doctor just gives him simple advice. If you get overwhelmed, take a break from him. Just walk away for a few minutes.
It makes sense to me. Like if you and your wife are having a
Marriage.
walk,
Secret to marriage.
you just go take a walk around the block.
Drive to Jewel, buy some groceries, come back. That's what I do. Secret to marriage. So
she said she'd be here at 8, and she wasn't here at 8. And obviously, the baby's ready for bed. I changed the diaper anyway.
You should podcast to the world about it.
Exactly.
But it's just me and you now.
Okay, just you.
The world's not involved.
Not involved.
So next scene, he's in a phone booth, and he's talking. There's going to be a custody hearing. He's trying to set up with his lawyer because he wants custody. And Ray farts. Fart. Fart. Did you fart, Ray? Did you fucking fart?
But this was like, I mean, this had so much like, I can't believe how many people did watch it, but everyone watched it, and this was like an ongoing joke with everyone. Like, oh, did you fart? Like people would like it became like a thing. Yeah.
So this was improv. What actually happened was they were in the phone booth to do the scene, and Dustin Hoffman farted, and he just rolled with it, and they just kept it. It was hilarious. That's something I can relate to. I don't know about you. Sometimes you just fart randomly in embarrassing situations. You just got to play it off. You've never had to do that? Because that's a relatable character to me.
That's a relatable character.
Just saying. So he's starting to freak out. They're in the backwoods because people's court's starting. And what happens is he basically convinces Charlie Babbitt to go up to a random house. And they pretend they're the Nielsen family. And they're going to, with the Nielsens, they're going to offer these poor country folks $287 a month. Every time I've been approached for the Nielsens, I get $1. $1. They don't buy it. She doesn't buy it. She's kind of freaked out by Raymond. So he goes back up to the house. He just levels with them. And she's like, well, you guys can watch cartoons. Flash forward. The kid's crying. She's trying to take care of him. I love this scene. And Raymond's just sitting or just writing in his notebook. I love that scene.
I mean, he does go out of his way to help his brother in that situation.
Yeah, because he's starting to realize the doctor helped him in real people terms realize what Raymond is, like realize what Raymond needs. So are they in the hotel next when he realizes he's Rain Man? I think they are.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, Raymond explains that, he used to hold him and he used to sing to him. How can I dance? How can I dance?
He'd sing Beatles songs too. Yeah.
So he would sing Beatles songs to calm a young Charlie Babbitt down. And so at this point, Charlie Babbitt's realizing, wow, this was the guy, this was the person, my imaginary friend who used to save me, like used to calm me down. And right after we get hit with another bit of knowledge, which is he's running a bath. And it seems like that maybe when they were little, Raymond like got Charlie close to some hot water and he thought he burned him because he freaks out.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why the dad just couldn't handle both of them because the mom had died already. So the dad just couldn't handle trying to raise both of the sons. And so Raymond had to go to the home. And so, I mean, at this point, you can't understand where Charlie's coming from still?
It's okay.
Fuck you.
Then there's the Lambos. They get seized by a creditor.
Yeah, so the Lambos, $80,000. They get seized because he can't afford to pay for them. Couldn't get him past the EPA. He owed money to people. So they get seized. He still owes $80,000 to pay back to people. Now, for some reason, as I was watching this movie, in my mind, like he was being chased by mobsters. Like I thought there was an added element to this, and there wasn't. Like I just made it up in my head. I thought not only was there the hearing, but there was like this added element of excitement, which maybe would have drawn you in. Maybe that's what you needed.
Maybe
you needed a heavy. But you know what, Mike?
There's no bad guy. Where's the bad guy?
Sometimes life is the heavy. Sometimes life is what's chasing you. You just don't understand that.
This would be a nice Colorado conversation.
Like if we were high?
I thought we decided
Colorado for the term pie.
Yeah, I thought we decided to call it Colorado.
Oh, I think we did. I'm gonna Corey on your face.
Okay. I quoted on your Awesome 80s t-shirt, by the way.
Son of a.
No, I mean, no.
Hey, if you want a shirt like this,
sit up a little. Okay, so it's black shirt with a white print. We've you can pick up any color shirt, any size shirt, and any color logo, but it needs to be that logo. Available at theawesome80s.net. Just click and go through our PayPal.
Yeah, we don't know the email address.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we just processed a large order, so we thank all of you guys who ordered. We give them to you at cost. We're not making any money. We just want you to wear it.
I mean, if you're listening to the show and you want a shirt, you can have it for what we paid for it. So,
yeah, that's how we do. So, they're gonna go to Vegas. They're driving through Vegas, actually, and this is where Charlie has the idea. Hey, you can count everything.
You know what Raymond would be good at? War, just like Glenn.
I won money playing war. We were in Vegas.
That was the thing. What was it at the Excalibur? I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Glenn?
I won so much money there.
You're not supposed to gamble in your own casino. You're supposed to go to a different casino. And Glenn, that's part of Maddie's rules. Don't you know anything?
I remember Maddie's rules, but we didn't leave the Excalibur the first 2 days, like gambling wise.
Wait, at least the first day.
Well, the first night we got there, and then the second day.
Okay. And then Rob did cocaine.
Got hired today at a large insurance company in the world. I'm just saying. And if you want a new shirt, we got people out there. We got the Mark P's of the world. They want shirts. Maybe they have a Dayglow orange shirt. And they want a different shirt.
We are available to make these as ugly as possible.
Or as pretty as possible.
Or as pretty as possible. Some people want black and white. I don't want black and white. I got a blue and yellow and a red and yellow.
I like my black and white. And now I'm getting a white and black. I hear it's soft.
Nice and soft?
Maybe you want purple and white.
You can do whatever combination you want, but it needs to be that logo.
Yeah, just let us know. So, they're going to count cards. He teaches them how to count cards. One bad, two good. Gets him a nice suit. Rain Man, let's play some cards. And they're doing good. You know, obviously when you're doing really well, the eye in the sky is going to be watching you. At some point, Raymond gets distracted. He wants to play Wheel of Fortune. He loses $3,000.
And we get this, honestly, it did remind me of Zach Galifianakis when he was doing his business. It's a lot of fun to watch them get, like, that's the best thing. I think that's the scene in the movie, other than them walking down the path with the trees, like going and gambling and beating the house with the blackjack. Because statistically, the odds are in your favor.
So, as when they talk about the eye in the sky, you got the cameras, and they go back and they're like, well, no one in the world can count a 6-deck shoot. No one.
Mm-hmm.
But he can. He did. He was doing it. So he just gets up. He walks away. He loses $3,000 because he wants to bet on 20 Wheel of Fortune. And Charlie Babbitt makes a good decision. He goes, you know what? Raymond's out of it. Let's just walk away. They're up $86,000, which covers his debts. Basically, everything that Charlie Babbitt owes, it's covered now. So they're sitting there. They're kind of gloating. Hooker approaches Raymond. And Ray just wants to talk to her. And she just wants to talk to Ray. She asks what they're doing. He goes, we're counting cards. Definitely counting cards, yeah. Kmart sucks. So he wants to, he thinks he has a date with this girl, which she got up and left kind of freakishly. So I don't know why Charlie went along with this, but he teaches him how to dance. was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
They had a moment. He goes to hug Raymond. Raymond freaks out. Can't be touched. Can't touch the ears. And then our French girlfriend, Suzanne, shows back up. She wants to be back with Charlie.
She's willing to give him another chance, especially now that he's back in the black. So, because no girl wants to
know he's back in black. She did not know anything about this AC.
Okay. All right.
I think she was more concerned about Raymond. And he called her and he said where they were. So she shows up. She's unemployed because they got shut down. So they're taking the elevator down so Raymond can have his date. And Charlie gets approached by casino management. So they go, they talk to him. They basically said, hey, we know what you're doing. We don't know how you're doing it. It's fucking incredible, but get out. He wants to fight because Charlie's an asshole.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to win. And they basically say, we're giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to leave. And he does. But his date no-showed, which he never really had a date. So that's to be expected. But he gets to dance with Suzanne, the hot French girl.
Which is just as nice.
Just as nice, better. She got some kissing. There's some kissing in the elevator. I don't know. Very romantic. Very romantic.
It's nice.
He lets Ray drive. Now, he didn't let him drive all the way to L.A., right?
You think maybe they get about an hour out of Las Vegas and then let him drive a little bit and then they stop and then
maybe. I don't know. Maybe he let him drive it all the way to LA.
Well, he drove all over the hell of their driveway, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So they go home. They drop off Frenchie. Charlie, they go back to Charlie's place. He goes and meets with the doctor from Cincinnati because they have the custody hearing tomorrow. Doctor offers him $250,000 to go away. Now, Charlie would have taken that.
How does he get this move? I mean, how does he get this money?
The doctor?
Yeah.
He explained it. He does have control over the money.
Okay.
And he says, even if you take Raymond from me, I don't have to give you the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want you to go away. You're obviously a money-grubbing fool. Take it. And that's, I think, when Charlie first realizes, I love this guy. And he yells at him. He says, listen, at first, I just took him because I was mad. But now, I'm taking him because I love him. Like, I've had 4 days with him, and I never got him. I was mad that I never knew about him. But now, I love him. I don't need the money.
It's got a good ending.
We're not there yet.
I know, but...
So he goes back to the apartment. Raymond sets off the fire alarm. He's freaking out. Charlie tries to take care of him. But I also think that made Charlie think, like, for one of the first times, like, he couldn't maybe take care of him.
What if it's 2 a.m. and he burns Tostino's pizza or Tony's pizza? I mean, how's he going to react?
He's going to fall asleep like I used to do, and then wake up alive in a burnt apartment, like smelling horribly. So the fire alarm goes off.
But it doesn't. But just FYI, it does burn, but it won't catch the house on fire. It'll just kind of turn into like
Charlie Babbitt made a joke. Charlie Babbitt made a joke. So they meet with the doctor, and I don't want to look at my other notes. I don't remember who is supposed to play the doctor. Oh, real quick, I remember the line that when Dustin Hoffman tried to quit the film after 3 weeks, he told Barry Levinson, "Go hire Richard Dreyfuss or some bullshit. Like, go hire a real actor." Like, Dustin Hoffman didn't think he could do it, and in his mind, Richard Dreyfuss was the guy. Anyway, so he goes and meets with the doctor. Whoever was supposed to play the doctor, I could easily look it up, but I don't feel like doing it right now. He couldn't do it. He got, like, the shooting ran over and interfered with different schedules. So Barry Levinson actually sat in, the director, and he played the doctor, who was supposed to be the arbitrator doctor. And he deliberately asked Tom Cruise, they didn't script it, so he deliberately asked questions that would make the Charlie Babbitt character be on the defensive. He did a really good job, because when you're watching it, he keeps telling Charlie Babbitt, Tom Cruise, like, hey, don't take offense. I'm just trying to ask. But he really did put him on his heels. Like, he asked him the way he asked him, it was really good.
Yeah. And he's always fun to see in other movies he's in. Like, I don't know, is either the Skippy Howard, is he Ron Howard's brother, Clint Howard, that you see in his movies? But it's kind of cool, like the characters he does play. He's in other people's. He was in Eyes Wide Shut too. He played like the lawyer. He was in him and Tom Cruise on Eyes Wide Shut together.
Oh, okay. So he asks a lot of questions. Charlie gets really defensive, but I think he made him ask these questions like with a purpose. So the character of Charlie Babbitt, sorry, Charlie Bartlett's another movie. Charlie Babbitt, he wants to put him on his toes and make him realize that maybe he can't do this. So what ultimately happens is Charlie Babbitt is sitting there with Dustin Hoffman while the two doctors go to talk, and he sees the writing on the wall, or he realizes he just can't take care of him. But he loves them, so they have this like really nice scene. But the fact of the matter is that Raymond, being autistic, he doesn't still understand emotion. Like this, if this movie took the bullshit way out, especially since this is one of the first movies or public knowledge of autism, then they would have had him like convert. Like all of a sudden Raymond can have feelings. Like that's the whole bullshit Hollywood way.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is realistic, which apparently you don't understand. He didn't feel that way. He felt like, hey, he obviously still can't feel. So at that point, Charlie makes the decision kind of for him. We never find out what the doctor's conversation was, because the next scene we're at, he's taking him to the train, and he tells him, "I'll see you in 2 weeks." And
I guess in a perfect world, or I guess in the current world, you'd hope that he wouldn't have found a familiar place at the institution. That home would be the familiar place for Raymond. But the reality in this movie, the familiar place is the institution. That's where all his stuff is. That's where his friends are. That's where he knows where the TV's at.
But outside of that, could he have taken care of him?
I guess. I mean, if this, I mean.
Okay, well, let's look at it this way.
Not everyone can have a live-in nurse, I guess.
Well, let's look at it this way. 1988, he could not probably have taken care of him.
Yeah.
2016, he totally could have.
Okay.
Because 1988, there's not a lot out there about autism.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
people are diagnosed when they're 3 years old, so people know how to react to them,
how to take care of them,
properly,
their support,
how to have them grow.
Yeah, there's literature. I mean, there's so many things out there now. But 1988, there wasn't. Like, there wasn't any. This wasn't different than any other mental illness because they didn't know.
Well, it also, I mean, there were a lot of faux pas back then. I mean, alcoholism was still like a joke to people, and the mental illness was a joke to people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. If this movie takes place in 2016, there's so much knowledge out there. There's support groups. There's everything out there that gives the caretaker the power and the knowledge. 1988, there isn't.
Okay. I guess that's just what I needed you to say. But I mean, I don't know if I'm going to watch this anytime soon, but
I'm not asking you to watch it ever again.
Okay, good.
Except when we do this again next year for
okay. But we're doing it again next year. But seriously, I would like to do Diner. I think you'd love Diner.
I'm fine with watching Diner.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this movie changed, at least was the start of a conversation in the world.
I mean, especially like appealing to middle America and like people to punch the clock and go to a factory. Like this is something that could have them sit down, laugh at people with problems, and then come to realize that they're people too. And like, there's different ways to approach people with mental illness.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Glenn.
I like having you as my big brother.
You want to listen to some Beatles later? I got it on 8-track.
Kmart sucks. And that's it. He goes away on the train. He's going to see He's going to see his brother in 2 weeks. So many hours, so many seconds, so many days. And that's the movie. And it's the perfect ending.
Is Charlie still going to be A confidence man when it comes to business and
I
his
don't
business
think so.
practices? All right.
He's learned. He's got a hot French girlfriend. He's gonna do something better with his life because he spent 4 days with the brother that he never knew he had, who changed his life when he was little because he protected him, and he changed his life when he was older because he protected him from himself. And I'd like to say maybe this is why the dad was the way he was. If you want to really go deep into this, the dad wasn't touchy-feely lovey with Charlie because that isn't what his first son Raymond was.
So he learned how to be a father from the first.
Yeah.
son.
I mean, if you really want to get into it.
Okay, you could see that.
I just don't understand how you can't not watch this movie and at least respect it.
It's a good movie. I just don't want to watch it ever again. Ever.
On you, man.
Well, anyway, that wraps up a review of the 1988 classic Rain Man. Bet your butt.
But
Next up, we will talk about our Oscar predictions for 2015.
are we doing that now?
You want to do? Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Do you have the can we just do like director, actor, actress, and movie? Maybe.
Well, how about we do? What do we do? Supporting actor, actress,
right.
director, picture.
Name them off. Let's go.
All right. Best animated short.
No, that was not in the.
What about actress in a supporting role? Kate Winslet
4.
for Steve Jobs.
Okay.
Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. Rooney Mara for Carol. Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight.
And the Oscar.
Awesome 80s Oscar goes to.
By the way, did you know that Dustin Hoffman was the first person who ever heard the Oscar goes to? They changed it that year, and he was the first person they changed it for.
What was it? The Academy Award goes to, or
it was just the award goes to,
Oh, really? It's all about marketing.
and the Oscar goes to.
I think it going to JJL, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I think that's who it's
Was
gonna
she
be.
Spotlight?
She was in The Hateful Eight.
Who is Spotlight?
Spotlight was Rachel McAdams.
That's who wins.
I didn't think she really did. I mean, she's awesome, but I don't think she really made the movie. But you think that's what's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, Jennifer Jason Leigh, she did really well in Single White Female. Love that movie.
All right.
Hudsucker Proxy, love that too. But
All right, let's continue.
all right, continue. What about actor in a supporting role?
Okay, who are our nominations?
Christian Bale. Well, he just won, didn't he? 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So for what movie?
The Big Short.
Okay.
Tom Hardy. Revenant. Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight. Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies. Oh, he's the guy that plays the spy. And Sylvester Stallone for Creed.
So I would say normally either Bale or Ruffalo would win. However, sentimentally, Sylvester Stallone's going to win.
Like, I think Ruffalo might win, but I think it's probably Sylvester Stallone that's going.
He's going to get the sentimental treatment.
What about
Director?
a director? The Big Short.
Who?
Mad Max.
Oh, who are these people?
I don't know. It just says the name. I don't have that.
All right. That's...
Spotlight, The Room, The Revenant, Mad Max, or The Big Short.
The Room.
I could see it being The Room.
Who do you think?
And I think it's probably going to be Spotlight, but I'd love for it to be Mad Max. But I think it's going to be Spotlight.
Okay, I think it's going to be The Room. Actress. No, actor. Because we believe in women are powerful.
Okay. Actor in a leading role. Bryan Cranston in Trumbo. Matt Damon in The Martian. Leo in The Revenant. When was the last time? So who's hosting this?
Chris Rock?
Motherfucking Rock. I remember watching the Oscars the last time Chris Rock hosted at your apartment with Jake. It was you, me, and Jake.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember that.
I made a little sign for Leo because I thought this is the year for Leo.
That was awesome. I remember that.
We also have Michael Fassbender and Eddie Redmayne, but
All
I
right,
think
well,
it's gonna be Leo.
It's gonna obviously be Leo.
Dude, I cannot wait for Chris Rock to make fun of white people. I could just listen to that all night. I think it's gonna be hilarious. I'm so thankful that he didn't back out as being the host because it got whitewashed the whole Oscars. But I mean, but honestly, like other people have talked about it before, but it's not really the Oscars' fault. It's kind of the studio's fault. Like there needs to be more black movies. You know what I'm saying? More movies.
I don't want to talk about.
But anyway, continue. But anyway, I cannot wait for Chris Rock to make fun of white people.
Okay, I'm just saying, if I were running a Tournament of Bad bracket, Oscar So White would be on there. Too late, Mike.
Okay.
Too late.
Did you watch all the Best Picture nominees?
I don't think I watched them all, but let's go through.
The Big Short. What did you think of that?
Wait a minute, we haven't done the. You're gonna skip the women?
Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it.
We were trying to honor the women by making them go on last, and you fucking skip them.
Actress in a leading role. Kate Blanchett in Carol.
Sherry
Brie Larson in The Room. Jennifer Lawrence in Joy.
No.
Charlotte Rampling, 45 years, and Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn.
Brie Larson in The Room.
Everyone says she's going to win. Did you see The Room?
Yes.
The kid that played Jacob Tremblay.
Absolutely.
Dude, that kid was amazing. Like any individual child actor, I'd say maybe The Shining, like that little
Is
kid.
he up for Best Actor?
No. Like that kid made the movie. That kid, I think Brie Larson was amazing, but he was 10 times better than she was.
Do you know why he's not up? Because Leo was afraid.
Leo pulled in all of his favors and said, I don't want Jack going up.
He called in his pussy posse.
We can say that because we're explicit under iTunes, Glenn.
Explicit. All right. So do you think Brie Larson's going to win?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So Best Picture.
Okay, The Big Short. What did you think of that?
I liked it.
I thought it was pretty fun. It kind of whole story of America going down the tubes is horrible, but it was fun the way it took a comedy director to make it palatable for anyone to watch the movie. And I thought the last part where they talk about all the different changes that the government made, and you're like, yeah, the government made all these changes. Oh, wait. And he's like, no, the government didn't do any changes. And we're just as bad as we were before this crisis.
Next.
Bridge of Spies. Did you watch that?
No, I haven't. And I'm not inspired to watch it.
Yeah, I watched it. It was okay. It was not. It seemed like a movie that my dad would be like, that was a good movie.
But Best Picture? No.
Yeah, for Best Picture, no. Brooklyn is, I think that's the only one out of these I haven't seen is Brooklyn.
I have not watched that one either.
I haven't watched that either. I heard it was very non-linear as far as it's very, very good movie, but not very entertaining is what I heard.
Right. I like entertainment.
Mad Max, Fury Road. I'd say my favorite movie of the year, but
Best Picture?
Is there any other movies that you thought are your favorite movies, but are not Oscar caliber? Because I don't really think Mad Max is Oscar caliber, but it's still my favorite movie.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know. Mallrats.
I don't remember.
Basic Amy.
The Martian. What do you think of The Martian?
I thought it's very parallel what's going on in our lives right now. This is life on Mars.
This is metaphor, yeah.
It's a metaphor.
The
Indiana beating Illinois right now.
Oh. The Revenant with Leo.
Bear fucking.
Dude. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
There's like two scenes that just has like a close up of Leo's face and his mouth opens like, oh. I was like, oh god.
MH was not a fan. MH hated it.
It was like it looks like he's getting
your bear fucking impression just lost a viewer.
Okay. I don't care. It looks so funny. They're just getting raped by that bear. Like Mike, he watched it and I'm like, oh, it looks like Leo's getting raped. He's like, there's like 1 or 2 shots where it looks like he's actually getting raped. It was like visually, it is amazing, but it is like one of those Oscar movies where it's like I just spent 4 hours watching this damn movie.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours too long.
Yeah, it is beautiful. A lot of the shots really are beautiful. So you saw The Room, then, Glenn?
Yeah, I like The Room a lot.
I really like The Room. I mean, I thought Brie Larson was good, and of course Jack, the kid that played Jack, was amazing.
Right,
and
next,
the Spotlight.
The only reason I wanted Spotlight was so Michael Keaton can win an award, but that didn't work. So
yeah, he didn't get nominated.
All right, you know what? Is that it?
Yeah, who do you think's going?
I gotta go The Room.
That'd be good. I'd be okay with The Room. I think it's going to be Spotlight. I like Mad Max, but I'd be okay with The Room beating Spotlight.
It's got to be The Room, I think. So we have a huge month coming up in March. Keith Coogan next week. The Chris Vanderkay, who's been a few times horror movie expert. Looking forward to that. Conrad Thompson, who, if that's our wrestling show, he's Ric Flair's best friend, does a podcast with him. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be doing that in person. It might just be audio only. It might be video. We don't know the logistics of that because we'll be doing it in Dallas, is the hope. Possibly April Richardson. I hate to say that out loud, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. I don't want to jinx it. And we also have Girls Just Want to Have Fun with our special guest, Jen S. Do we have any? Am I missing any?
No, but next week, what do we have happening?
We have Keith Coogan coming on. We're doing Under the Boardwalk. One of the rare Keith Coogan movies, but he's third time on. Big ups to us for doing that, for getting him. He's a huge supporter of our podcast. We love him. We'll talk a lot about what he's doing right now and how you can support him when he's on the show. That's exciting. Huge month of March. Huge. This could be one of our biggest months of all time.
Okay. Well,
and we got some news this week. We can't share yet, but big news for the podcast coming up here in June. And we'll be hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll be able to announce it. I'm really excited. I don't know if you are, but
sometimes it feels like we've got like a suitcase with all these senators that are communists, and we can't let you know about them. But we've got a suitcase that has their names in them. But we're gonna let you know about it, though.
Yeah, like 2 of the guests I just named have agreed to it, but we haven't like locked down a date. So I'm like even nervous saying that, just in case something bad happens. But in conversations, I'm pretty secure that these things are happening. And I know what's happening in June is definitely happening. Things have been signed, deals have been made, but it hasn't been announced publicly, and it's not our place to be able to announce it. But I know we give thanks at the end of each show, and MF Jones does a great job not only producing this podcast, thank you, MF Jones, but of supplying a script. But I'm going to go off script this week. A huge thank you to Superfan Casey. Like, he's opened so many doors for us and helped us so much, and I can't thank him enough. And we have all these ways you can follow us: Twitter, Facebook, our website, which we mentioned, awesomemaze.com, awesomamazepod. However, here's what I want from you guys. Even if we have 5 times as many audio listeners as we do video watchers, which is fine. When I listen to my podcast, I do it audibly. I do it with the audio. I don't, even if I have a video option, I still usually choose audio because that's just the way I consume. So if you consume that way, please still go to YouTube, type in the Awesome A's podcast and hit subscribe. Even if you don't want to watch that way, it helps us out so much if you subscribe on YouTube to the Awesome A's podcast. And you don't have to watch it, but it will also give you alerts to when our shows are coming, so you'll know to be on the lookout for the audio version, usually within 72 hours.
Do you want to donate through the Patreon, or do you want to just go and subscribe to us on YouTube?
Well, I'd like you to do both. I mean, if you want to donate to our Patreon, you just do a simple donation for each episode. It can be a quarter. It can be $1 an episode. We usually do one a week, so that's $4 a month. It really helps us out to just upgrade the equipment. Like, we don't make money off of this. We're charging you costs for T-shirts. But if you want to do the Patreon, just do $1 an episode, $4 a month. That's what, a coffee a day. How many starving kids can we feed for that?
That's a lot of starving kids.
MH,
food out of them starving
breeding's getting labored, which means he's going to go to bed soon. His team's about to win.
We work himself up into a lather before he goes to bed.
Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, for being awesome. You know what, Michael? Stay awesome.
Stay awesome, Glenn.